Hello, Kasper from Toddle here. Today we're going to have a look at one of our default projects in Toddle. It's a template more or less. It's called the Wow project. It's a basic SaaS setup with a sidebar, a search field, and some main content. We are pulling some data from an API. We are talking about variables. We are looking at events and formula. We're basically touching briefly upon the core elements of Toddle. So let's dig in. So here it is, our template, our project, and maybe first things first, I need to explain briefly that Owen Wilson is an American actress, and he is quite famous for saying this one line in more or less all of his movies, wow. And some people were funny to sort of gather all of the wows that Owen Wilson has ever said in all of his movies in one API basically, and this is called the Owen Wilson Wow API, and it's quite silly API, but nice for getting to learn how to actually use APIs in, for instance, your Toddle application. Yeah, let's start by sort of briefly have a look at responsiveness of the template. I'll just start by dragging this handle back and forth, and I can see that this template is, mobile friendly and desktop friendly as well. And you can see the layout adjust accordingly. If I want to test out the project in real life, so to say, I will click this icon down here, preview, and I can preview my project as the user, in this case a desktop user, would actually see your project. I'll return to the editor again, and as you can see in this project, by going to this file section over here, it only contains 4 components and 1 page to sort of host all of these components. And briefly, we have a sidebar over here, we have a search field up here, and then we have a list item, a card right here, where we are repeating all of the sort of the data entries we're getting from an API and showing them in one big list. And then we have one more small component here called demo sidebar item, basically a small link item as a component you can see right here. But yeah, this is basically my entire setup, the entire project as is. Let's go through them one by one. Let's start with the smallest one, the menu item over here located in our demo sidebar component. I will just go into that component first, the sidebar itself, and I will go a bit deeper into the demo sidebar item component. That's the one right here, and as you can see, it's pretty basic. I have an icon right here, and I have a title for the component, or for the link, sorry. The cool thing about this particular component is that I have inserted the SVG icon right here through a slot, and this slot basically allows me to replace the content in its parent component, which you will see in a minute. But yeah, otherwise I have 2 attributes, link and title, and that's about it. The title is tied to this h2 element right here by using a formula, as you can see, as such. Yeah, let's return to the sidebar. And as you can see, we have this small component we saw before, the demo sidebar item, and I have utilized this cool slot feature by inserting different icons for each of the items right here. And I've also utilized the attribute, the title attribute. For instance, here I have put in projects for this item, and I put in users for this particular item. Right now they're all leading to the same homepage because I have only one page in this particular project called homepage. And yeah, let me just test the responsiveness by dragging this handle. As you can see, it's nice and responsive. There's a mode for mobile and a mode for larger screens, desktop, and so on. As you can see, there is a button up here, a close button that shows up once I'm on the mobile view. This button is used to sort of hide this menu or sidebar once it's triggered. It's only going to be shown on mobile. And it's a button that's calling an event, in this case a click event. So when I click this particular button, it triggers a show sidebar event, which would allow me to sort of hide this component. And this is all done in its parent component in the home page. We will see this in a minute. Yeah, let's dig into another component. Want to dig into this one called the demo list item. Here I'm showing a movie poster, I'm showing the movie name in which Owen Wilson he says wow, and I'm showing the title itself or the line itself in which Owen Wilson says wow. Let me dig into it. So as you can see right here, I'm not actually showing any of the real life data, I'm just showing some demo content. This is due to the fact that I'm using attributes. As you can see over here, I have quite a few attributes, one for the movie title for instance, one for the poster, the source of the poster, and so on and so on. And once more, I can just briefly show how I'm tying an attribute to an element, in this case the movie title. It is tied to, yes, this one over here, the P tag right here, through a formula. As you can see right here, I can enter the formula, and yes, I'm tying the movie title attribute to my actual element in such a way. Let me return to the homepage once again. As you can see, I'm not just showing one of these cards, one of these components, I'm actually showing multiple, and this is done through this repeat feature. As you can see right here, I'm repeating this component for each of the data entries I'm getting from the Owen Wilson API. So you can see I have sort of connected all of the attributes from the component to whatever I'm getting from the API. In this case, the character. In this case, the movie title, and so on and so on. And speaking of APIs, I have connected the Owen Wilson API in such a way. I've just inserted the URL, and I've just make sure to sort of insert the correct path, and so on and so on. You can all see this on the documentation page for the Owen Wilson API. Yeah, then we have one component left, the search bar component. Let's have a look at that one. So in the demo search component right here, I have an input field for searching. So whenever a user wants to search for a particular wow, they can input a search query right here. This search input field is bound to the attribute called search. And there's also an event attached to it. Let me see right here. So yeah, an input event. So on input, I am triggering the update search value as such. Yeah, and let me just see. Yeah, I have bound the value of the input field to the attribute called search in such a way. And then I recall when I resize this one, I should see a burger menu. Yeah, so yeah, this button right here, the burger menu, triggers an event right here, click event. So when I click this one, I should show the sidebar, and this is handled by the parent component, by the home page itself. Let's return to the home page one last time and see how this is all tied together. So in order to have my search component or my search feature tied together with the actual results right here, let me just test it by the way. I'm going in here, I'm searching for Bottle Rocket, yeah, and I'm seeing the Bottle Rocket entries. Let me search for something else, Batman for instance, and no, there are no entries for the movie Batman. Perfect. So in order to make this search feature work, I have created a custom formula over here called results. Let me just open it and expand this formula view. And basically what I'm doing is that I'm getting all the data entries from the API right here, and I'm filtering the list of returned wows, you might say, based on my input, my search query. So I'm trying to sort of match my search input together with the items, the movie title in this case, and the movie line, the wow line in this case. Wow, okay, no more fighting. But yeah, I'm searching across the movie title and the particular line in which Owen Wilson says wow. If any of these matches are true, then I'm getting a filtered list, I'm getting a filtered result showcased in my list of wows. Let me close this one. Yeah, one more thing left. That should be, yeah, when I go into mobile right here, I should see this mobile menu appear up here. Let me just test it again. So I'm clicking the burger menu and I'm triggering the mobile menu or the sidebar, and I'm closing it again. And as you recall, I didn't really add much logic to the different components. It's all handled in this parent component on this home page. And this is done through this one, the show sidebar variable. So whenever I'm triggering either the hide or show event in the search component or in the sidebar component, I'm changing this show sidebar variable, and then I'm hiding or showing based on the value of the particular variable. Where is it located? But I'm showing the sidebar based on, right here, show menu. All depends on the variable show sidebar. So that was a ultra brief sort of walkthrough of this particular template. I'm not going to explain everything about Toddle. There are much more to learn. But this would get you started. Give it a spin. See you guys. Bye bye.